Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Good to talk to all of you again today. And, take a look at NavyField 15 years after the closed beta of the game. So, the game is actually still around, which is, I know, surprising for some people who used to play this game, because there was a particular period of time where the game was definitely on the downward trend to the point that there was not many games actually being played on it. You could log in and there may be one room, and it takes a long time to get any kind of battles going. So what has happened, just to update all of you, because as you can definitely see, there are quite a lot of rooms going on. What has happened is that they have merged the North American, European, and of course the original servers in China as well. It's all been sort of merged together into one international server. This has brought about sort of a resurgence, shall we say, in the game, because there are actually players playing. Of course, there are downtimes during the North American daytime, sort of around maybe like 1 p.m. Eastern till about, I would say, maybe 7, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. There is a bit of a quiet time. There's still battles running during that period of time, but it is a little bit on the quieter side for sure. But the rest of the time, there's actually quite a lot of battle rooms going. So if you're looking to get back into the game, now's actually a pretty good time, because the player base is certainly more numerous than it was back in the day. Now, obviously, for some of you who used to play this game and had old accounts and are wondering maybe what's happened to the account, there is currently, as of this moment, and this is May the 5th, roughly, at least for the next little while from what I know, there is a sort of a returning players event. So what will happen is that they will try to recover your account for you with all of the stuff that is on your account. In the event that they cannot, so there are some cases where accounts are just lost to the depths of time, they can't recover the account, things like that, then there is some compensation. They'll give you some extra credits, points, I think about 1 million points, 1 million credits, and not only that, they'll also throw in 6 level 120 sailors, which will certainly help you get started in the game again if you want. Yes, of course, there's some aspects of the game that are old. The graphics are not pretty by modern standards for sure, but for those of us who used to play this, the gameplay is still phenomenal. It still feels like a very, very intense naval game, and skill in this game is absolutely paramount. There is significant aspects of this game that require your player skill. And if you're bad, like I was for the first couple of days I got back into the game, then you're just gonna suck. There's no excusing this. But if you eventually kind of get back into things, get back into the swing of things, it can get better. And that's slowly, for me, starting to get a little bit better. A big part of this game is the manual control of everything. You have to micro and you have to control stuff. All the times I fire my guns, it's manually selecting the angles that I want to be at. I have to control my ship precisely. I have to take advantage of gaps in enemy spotting, because there is a fog of war system in here. And as you can see, my scout control, which is my little airplane that will provide me with vision and my team with vision. I'm just not good enough at the macro right now to just keep track of every little thing, and so sometimes I will still make obvious mistakes. I mean, it's surprising. This is a game that is old, that for a period of time I really did think it's probably on its way out, because there just wasn't enough players to maintain an active player population. But yeah, with the merging of the servers and everything, the game is essentially populated to a point where you should be able to get games in during the day, and that's a nice thing, because fundamentally I always said that when it comes to the gameplay aspect, this game is solid. There is sure, there's some obviously monetization aspects from back in the day that are a little bit dated. There's some grind mechanics that are still very dated, but in terms of the actual gameplay, when you get in, there is very, very much positive elements in NavyField. All right, other things to sort of mention. there are also players who are coming back. There's actually quite a lot. I've seen a lot of sort of old familiar names coming back into NavyField that were playing from back in the day. So that's a nice thing to see as well. And I think it's being helped by, again, the commitment to help people find and recover their old accounts. And if you can't do that, then having, the extra support in terms of credits and everything for just sort of new accounts, whatever, that helps. So if you're again, looking for a way to get back into the game, I think now is the perfect opportunity. If you are trying to recover your account, just because this is something that happened to me, if you're trying to recover your account and you run into problems, there is a technical support Skype group that you can talk to the GMs and get your issues figured out there. Just to put into perspective, here's a really funny story. For me, when I was recovering my account, and this has to do with the way I think the systems are on the back end, I had a very, very long, and this is even by any standards, just a really long email address, and it just completely bugged the system out. It took them a while to get that resolved and to get me my account back. They've definitely fixed that right now, but I don't think any of you have like a 30-something letter email account, so I think you're all good there. They've also addressed and fixed a lot of the older technical issues. In fact, the game is more stable today. You know, an old game running on Windows 10 is actually more stable today than this game was during its heyday, which is quite amazing if you think about that. They've dealt with a lot of the crashing, they've dealt with a lot of that, so in a lot of cases the game will run quite well for many, many hours, and that's surprising. Is it fully fixed? No, I mean, it is an old game, and I'm sure there's still going to be the occasional crash or whatever here and there. So, you know, all in all though, they've definitely done some work to make it better. Other things, for example, things that I swear to God I thought would never get fixed are actually addressed now as well. So for those of you who played this game back in the day, you remember there was a 50 sailor limit from back in the day. There was a super annoying thing that you're like, why was this arbitrary limit set? They fixed that now. There's, you know, you're able to have 100 crew in your slots. Of course, there's still an HQ system, but you know, it's far less useful now if you have 100 crew slots. So that is nice. Just, yeah, I mean, they've definitely done some work. They've brought the game back to a state that it is playable. There are enough people to play the game with, and that's really cool. And yeah, overall, if you're looking to find a game from the good old days, experience a bit of that nostalgia, the, you know, skill-based gameplay that requires you yourself to be skilled, yeah, look them up. See if this is your kind of thing. I guess any other concerns or whatnot, you know, you could always just message the GMs on Skype and just be like, hey, I've got X, Y, or Z concerns. It'll take them obviously a bit of time to respond. It is a small team that is now dealing, to the best of my knowledge, with quite a big flood in terms of requests for people to recover their accounts and things like that. So, you know, they'll get back to you. So, you know, if you have a little bit of patience, they'll help you out. And that's really all I've got to say. You know, I'm glad 15 years after this game came out in the beta stages, that it's still around, still kicking, and you can still jump on and play. So yeah, for those of you who used to be on this game, definitely looking forward to seeing you guys on again, hopefully, and then that we'll have maybe some more English speaking players on as well, because, you know, it is a little bit more Chinese dominated right now, obviously, because of population differences for sure. But hopefully with time, we'll get some more of the old NA EU players, you know, who speak English back into the game. And yeah, hope to see you all on the high seas again, shall we say. Aside from that, folks, you know, take care, have yourselves a good one. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, including any issues or whatever that you've got. And yeah, also keep in mind that I am generally going to be streaming this game during my live streams on Wednesdays, when I sort of branch away from World of Warships and play something else for a little bit. So until next time, folks, take care of yourselves, have a good one, and I'll talk to all of you again really, really soon.